Aloha, my name is Frankie Peck, President of American Money Group Financial Services. I'm here talking to you today about trust deed investing and how trust deed investing can absolutely protect your investment with collateralized real estate compared to sometimes other investments such as either a CD, which are safe investments, or stocks, mutual funds, which aren't considered as safe as well. So first I'd like to start off by quoting or talking about a comment by Mr. John Bogle. John Bogle was the founder of Vanguard, one of the largest mutual funds in the whole world, and currently in 2013, $13 trillion top mutual fund world. John Bogle came out and they were asking him about the safety of mutual funds and how safe they were. And to quote John Bogle, he says, well, it's as safe as the stock market. He said, which is to say, to be quite blunt about it, not safe on any short-term basis. Not safe on any short-term basis. He basically just says over the long run you're going to make up your money, but he says if you're in your 20s and you're going to be investing for the next 50 or 60 years, he says it's an excellent long-term bet. That's pretty much what he said. So basically, what if you're not in your 20s and if you're not investing for 50 to 60 years? Is mutual funds and stocks right for you? And there's always a place in the portfolio for mutual funds and stocks, but really what you need to look for, especially if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, that's primarily who I'm talking to, is you need to look for safety. Safety, and then you want to look for the rate of return. Safety first, because you want to make sure you don't lose your money. In 2000 and 2010, the stock market earned only 5% actually. So what we do is we consider a doubling period 10 years. And if you, during that 10-year span, if you're 20 to 60 years old or 70, you're preparing for retirement, you only have 4, maybe 5 doubling periods at the most. And if you lose one of those doubling periods, that could significantly impact your retirement for the worse. So what you want to do is you want to avoid any of those long-term drops in the market. And Mr. Bogle said, in his words, there was quite a few of those that came during his lifetime. And so what you want to do is, as an investor, as somebody who wants to protect their nest egg, is you want to make sure you don't lose any money first and foremost. Safety is the #1 concern. And second of all, you want to make sure you're in a decent or high rate of return. People like the stock market because it averages anywhere between 7 to 9% depending on what you're doing. If you're an individual investor, you're looking at averaging only like 4%. But on the average, the stock market's going to average for you between 7 and 9% depending on what mutual funds or stocks you have. So what you want to do is, the question is can you have safety for your investment, and at the same time can you earn the same rates of return? The answer is yes. And one of those types of vehicles, there's a lot of them out there, it's an alternative type of investment, it's called trust deeds. The state of California put out an article about trust deeds to help you understand better what you're investing in. And what this is called, it's called Trust Deed Investments, What You Should Know. And it was put out by the Department of Real Estate, which is a really good article. So if you want an copy of this, please email us or call us on our site here, and we'll be able to send this to you, or a link to it from the state of California. In this article, it talks about two things. What a trust deed is. It says your investment is secured by a deed of trust recorded against the title of the borrower's property. Very important. So that's what you have as far as your investment is concerned. You give somebody money, your name's recorded on that property, or the person that's representing you or the company representing you, they can record because they're representing multiple companies. So it just depends, but for the most part, you are on title. That's what's important. Banks are on title when they're lending money to people. That's important. The next thing is if you have to foreclose, do you get your money back? And there's no guarantees to that. There's no such thing as a perfect investment. But the state of California said in their thing, the Department of Real Estate said, the foreclosure sale in most cases satisfies the debt. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Most cases satisfies the debt. So that means most of the time if you have to foreclose, which is very rare, if you have to foreclose, it'll satisfy the debt. And I guess what really determines that is the value of the property. How much equity do you have in the property? And it goes on to say, the value of the property, you may or may not be able to recover your entire investment. It just depends on how much equity is there. So if the market happens to take some double-digit drops, it could drop 50% 1 year. And if you're at 50% loan to value, you're even. So you have to look at where you're at as far as where the market's at and when you're trying to recover your investment. So a short-term trustee in between 1 and 2 years is ideal because you can move in and out of a property pretty fast. Okay? So this is the idea here. Here's what I'm going to give you some examples here on what we're looking at. We have basically what banks do is banks, right here you can look at, banks do it 80-20%, and they feel pretty safe because they're on the line for, sometimes it's insured by the government, sometimes it's not. They're on the line, they feel pretty safe by having a 20% rate of equity stake in your property. They have 80% loan that they give you, 20% equity stake. That's 80% loan to value. Banks feel safe. They do this all day long. They would love to have less because the more you pay down, the safer that they are. So what this is that there's $1 million home that's valued at $1 million. That's valued by either, according to the state of California, by either appraisal, or it's valued probably by some sort of BPO or broker's price opinion. They can order those as well. So if this is this scenario right here, $800,000 loan they give somebody, $200,000 is what the equity is in the property. Okay, so that's what the bank does. They feel safe, they feel confident. What we do for you, or what you do, is we teach you how to be the bank. We teach you how to do it the other way. Where you come in, let's just say there's a first trust deed on here for $250,000. Okay? With us, the average loan to value or the average investment loan to value is 50 to 65%. We don't go over 65% unless there's something special, something rare, and it's something that you want to do. But for the most part, we do not do that. We stay in the average property, I'd say right now, is about 55% loan to value is what we do. But anywhere up to 65%, we feel you're pretty safe. That's our opinion, but that's what I would do if it was me. 55% loan to value, so in this scenario, $250,000, that means we come in, let's just say we give them a $300,000 trust deed. Okay? That means $550,000 is the highest, or on this particular scenario, if it's average, is where we're at. We have $450,000 of equity in there to protect your investment. Now that's powerful. I think you would agree with me. $450,000. So realistically, at the end of the day, you have somebody borrowing that. Who's going to want to let them walk away and leave $450,000 of equity in their property? Very few people, and if they did, they'd be very foolish. So $450,000 is what protecting you. But you have this piece of real estate. Now you give a loan for $300,000. You walk down. The total loan to value is $550,000, and you're earning on this particular property. You're earning $300,000 times, let's just say 8%. Now really what they're charging is anywhere between 11 and 12%. Now the difference is made by the brokers, it's made by different people, it's made by the real estate agents, and that's where the fees are. You don't pay anything. What you get is what you get. So now what you're getting is 8% loan, is what you're getting is 8% on the second trust deed. You're on title, you come in here and you're multiplying 8% times 300,000, and that's $24,000. Divided by 12, that's $2,000 per month. Okay? Now, this is what you're earning on a monthly basis. Now, this is stock market-like returns without the necessary risk of the stock market that can drop 50% one day. Can that happen with the real estate market? It absolutely can. Has it happened? Not in prime areas, not in California. It really hasn't happened. But it can. The stock market actually has dropped 50% before in different times. When you're looking at this whole thing, when you're looking at the thing, the safety is what we're looking at. Safety is the number one important thing. So you're getting your money. So the question is can this broker, can this person who's doing these trust deeds, can they guarantee me my investment? Can they guarantee me the income on a monthly basis? And they cannot. It is absolutely against the law for somebody to say, I will guarantee you I'll pay your income on a monthly basis, whether they're foreclosing or not. And so what you need to do is you need to look for a company, what they're promising, what the laws are actually allowing them to promise. So what happens is with our particular clients, our particular investors, they actually pay you the money on a monthly basis. Can they guarantee it? No. But with our clients, we've had a few foreclosures because we have millions of dollars invested into trust deeds, quite a few amount of dollars, quite a few amount of clients, and they have actually paid on a monthly basis to our clients that need it. If you don't need it, they don't pay you. If you need it, they pay you without the guarantee. And they've actually done this for our clients. So coming through to these trust deeds, they're paying these clients that need this money on a monthly basis. They've done that. And the question is who pays for the foreclosure? Because that can be fairly expensive. And our client, the people that we work with, our company, they pay for the foreclosure process. Do they guarantee it? No. But they've done it in the past with all of our clients, and that's what they do. They cannot guarantee it, but they do it. So what we're trying to tell you is that we're trying to take the sting out of investing in trust deeds. First of all, you have to ask about foreclosures. How often does it happen? And I would say it happens very rarely because people don't want to lose this. You have to think, even if the property did drop down to $550,000 loan to value, I wouldn't let it go. Would you let it go? No. So you have to think that most people are not going to let their properties go even if the market did drop. And so that's what you have to ask yourself. And then at the end of the day, and if it didn't drop, are they going to let the equity go? And nobody lets the equity go like that. It can happen, but very few people would actually let that happen because they'll find somebody else to replace the loan. They'll do what they got to do, and that's what actually has happened in the past. But very few times have we had foreclosed, and we have foreclosed, and the foreclosure process has been taken care of by the companies that we represent. So I want to thank you for listening to us on our trust deeds, and I appreciate it, and aloha.